SmackDown took place in Bologna, Italy at Unipol Arena. So Gunther started off the show by destroying the announce booths. He wanted justice after being robbed at Clash in Italy until Cody Rhodes comes out, does his full entrance as Gunther suddenly stops smashing things by ringside. And Cody actually says Gunther is right and he wants a rematch with Gunther. He's willing to give him the rematch, but then Sami Zayn comes out, and surprisingly, the fans actually really like Sami in Italy, and he actually went out of his way to greet them in Italian. It actually meant a lot to him. It seemed like that he was actually liked. I get the impression Sami still prefers to be a babyface, so he appreciated that the fans liked him here. And eventually what would happen is Cody and Sami argue for the millionth time, but the difference is they don't have a crowd that's indifferent. They actually had a crowd that was engaged. And by the way, this crowd today in Bologna was great. They were hot for everything, and that's saying something because SmackDown is a terrible show. And had this show not been in front of a European crowd, it would have been just another terrible edition of SmackDown, but the crowd elevated it. And the first hour or so I thought was actually pretty good, but then it went downhill. However, going back to this, what happens is Cody and Sami argue. Gunther jumps Cody. He tries to choke him out, but this time Sami stops, unlike a few weeks ago. And then eventually Cody he's still in the ring as Gunther and Sami are on the outside. Cody goes to hit a suicide dive on Gunther. He hits the dive, but unfortunately for Cody, Gunther sidesteps Sami, and Sami was the one who got hit with the suicide dive by Cody. And eventually Gunther leaves, so they continue to tease tension with Cody and Sami. They could do a situation where Sami costs Cody the title, then it's Cody and Sami at SummerSlam, but I doubt that right now. Backstage, The Miz was talking to Kit Wilson on the phone, who was not there. He goes into Danhausen's lab. Danhausen appears, tells him to stop. Miz electrocuted himself, whatever. Raquel Rodriguez was out next with Liv Morgan, who was looking great, by the way. But Liv had Raquel go at it by herself, so Raquel comes out. Liv was with her, but then it looked like Liv was going to go to the ring with her, but Liv went backstage to let Raquel do it alone. And then we go after a break. Gunther was yelling at Nick Aldis backstage. He threatens to get his lawyer. And right when he said lawyer, I thought, it's Paul Heyman. That's what they're doing now. They're going to have Gunther aligned with Paul Heyman, which I really don't want to see. After that, Bayley was out next as she made her final appearance for the WWE in Europe. She's leaving the company later this year. And then JC Jane was out with Fatal Influence members Fallon Henley and Laney Reed. But like what Liv Morgan did, they went to the back and let JC Jane go at it by herself. And then Kiana James was out last. And instead of having Julia go to the ring with her, Julia go back like the other two did, I guess the most heelish of the three is Kiana James, because unlike Raquel Rodriguez and unlike JC Jane, Kiana didn't trust herself to do it alone, so she had Julia go to the ring with her, and that's what they did. And Julia, of course, gets to appear again in Italy. She appeared on Raw. She had the best night I thought she had since joining the main roster. And in this Queen of the Ring quarterfinal match, we had another Fatal 4-Way match. Raquel Rodriguez against Bayley, against Kiana James, against JC Jane. Fans sing to Bayley to start, and it's in Europe. They always love Bayley. However, I do think it's the last time they're going to get to see Bayley in Europe, at least parts of the WWE. And then Raquel got the heat for a while. Kiana argued with Julia. There was a spot where it seemed like Julia was a little bit late, but Kiana looked foolish for yelling at Julia, but she does. And then Raquel hits Kiana with the Tejana bomb and pins her, so Raquel advances. Then after the match, Kiana is yelling at Julia. She blames her for the loss. Then Julia stands up to her, beats her down, and forces Kiana to retreat. Julia was very over in Italy here, and this was easily her best week on the main roster. Nice moment for her on Raw. She got over. Even though she got pinned by Io, she still had a good showing. Here, she turns face. She turns on Kiana. I just hope this can carry over until they're out of Europe and they're out of Italy, because not every single show is going to be in Italy. So hopefully, I'm glad that the crowd supported her, and hopefully it carries over into the next weeks. Backstage, Sami Zayn walked up to Johnny Gargano planking. Just leave the company, Johnny. Just go to AEW, for fuck's sake. What is this shit? Then Nick Aldis told them not to interfere with the Cody and Gunther feud or match anymore. And then Aldis had a meeting that Sami Zayn couldn't meet with Aldis because it was already a scheduled meeting, and Sami was wondering who could this be. And it was a returning Chad Gable, who got a massive pop from the fans as he officially makes his return as Chad Gable to the main roster. People are really happy to see him. And look, I know the European crowds tend to be more hardcore fans who pay attention to, might not necessarily watch AAA, but everyone's really aware of that great AAA match between the two Americanos, and of course Gable losing his mask at the end and having a great performance. And he got over here like crazy. He got a big pop, and I was thinking, great. I just hope, as I mentioned earlier with Julia, hopefully this can carry over into the next weeks, and he can keep this momentum, because Chad Gable right now, in terms of his run on the main roster, this is probably the hottest he's ever been at, coming off that classic match. Solo Sikoa and the MFTs were out next. Then Royce Keys came out. We get Tala Tonga against Royce Keys. Tala won after Solo interferes. Solo sucks. I was enjoying this show. We just saw Chad Gable return, which was cool. We saw Julia have a really good showing, her face turn, which I liked. I even liked the opening segment. And it all went downhill after this, because right when Solo Sikoa comes on the TV screen, he is like, he pops the balloon. He pops the hot air balloon. He just, he's awful, man. He does nothing good. He just comes in, and it's like he sucks the soul out of the show, because he's so bad, and the MFTs are like are a symbol of what's wrong with SmackDown, Solo Sikoa particularly. So whenever he shows up on the TV screen, it sours the whole show, and it drives it down. He is a horrible performer. He should not be on TV anymore. He is atrocious. It's pure freaking nepotism, and it's so frustrating to watch this guy get opportunity after opportunity just because of who he's related to. If he was anybody else, if he had any other family lineage, if he was not part of the Anoa'i family, he would have been fired. He is horrible. The MFTs suck. And it just ruins the flow of the show. Royce Keys loses to Tala Tonga. What a loser Royce Keys is now. They've done nothing with him. He won the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now he's fucking jobbing to an MFT. What a joke. They attack Keys after the match until R-Truth makes the save. And again, it just feels like I said with SmackDown, it's a Groundhog Day. How many times can I see Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn arguing? How many times can I see Damian Priest and R-Truth arguing? And they're beating up Truth until Priest makes the save. He pulls him out, and then they continue to beat up Keys. And I just think whenever you're set up with Solo Sikoa, wherever you have to feud with him or team with him, it's a career killer. It really is. He's poison. He is horrible. He no one cares about him. So, and he has no charisma, no personality. He's not entertaining. He has a terrible look. And whenever you work with him, it drives you down. It brings you down. He brings you down to his level, which is at the bottom, and it destroys any momentum you have, whether or not you're teaming with him or you're feuding with him. Let's look at who he's feuding with right now. Royce Keys. Is he better off for it? Absolutely not. Before him, the Wyatt Six. Oh, they got fired. Thank you, Solo. Let's look at who's teamed with them. JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb. He was saddled with Solo, and it cost him his job. Solo is a terrible performer. He should not be on my TV screen every Friday. I think he sucks. I'm so sick of seeing him. Anyway, we go backstage. Judgment Day celebrated Raquel's win. We got a Finn Balor video package. He's coming to SmackDown. It was announced on Raw that he's going, so he's switching brands. I guess he's going to feud with the MFTs probably. It's going to be him, Priest, and Truth probably against the MFTs. I think that's where we're headed. So Damian Priest lectured R-Truth backstage after he ran out earlier tonight. Truth mentions John Cena's name, got a pop. Then the War Raiders walked up to them for a title shot. I'm shocked they're still employed. The AAA Tag Team Champions, yeah, whatever. I don't see much of a future for these guys. Rhea Ripley was out next to a big pop, as she always gets. She is one of the most over stars on the entire roster. Crowd loves her. She talks about beating Jade, and then Charlotte Flair comes out. She was over too. Charlotte mentioned the Queen of the Ring, which is perfect for her. Queen, she's the queen. And she wants to face Rhea at SummerSlam, which I'm all for. I would like that match a lot because we haven't seen it in a while. In a way, it would kind of be the rubber match because they had the match at WrestleMania 36, which Charlotte won, then WrestleMania 39, which Rhea won. And both those matches were 3 years apart. So 3.5 years later, I guess, we're going to get the rubber match at SummerSlam. And they've had a match before at Money in the Bank. Charlotte beat her, I think, in 2021 to win the title. So Charlotte had her number for a while until Rhea finally beat her at that WrestleMania. But I'd like Rhea and Charlotte one more time. It's been a while since they've wrestled. I'm all for it. I hope we actually get that match. I'd like to see it. But then Tiffany Stratton comes out. She wants a title shot. Then Jade Cargill comes out with Mishin and B-Fab. And they confront the three in the ring. But Rhea, I forgot to mention, her leg was wrapped. I guess she had some injury on the, I don't know if it was on the house show or during the match with Jade. But she's going to be out. Might maybe only be for a few weeks. I don't know. She doesn't have to vacate the WWE Women's Championship, I don't think. I'd be surprised. But she couldn't compete here. So what happened was Charlotte wanted to team with Tiffany, even though she hates her. And they teased, they referenced their feud with Charlotte and Tiffany. Charlotte asked Tiffany if she wanted to apologize. Tiffany said no, and I'm sure Ric Flair was just thrilled about that. He probably threatened to file a lawsuit against Tiffany like he threatened to file a lawsuit against his own son. Rick being Rick, whatever you can do. Anyway, Charlotte and Tiffany are on the same side. Then Nick Aldis comes out and he makes a tag team match. Playa. So we get Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton against Jade Cargill and Mishin. So match wasn't much. It was fine. Jade pins Tiffany Stratton after he hits a Jaded. So the Women's United States Champion getting pinned. I guess they can do Jade and Tiffany for the U.S. title if they want to do that. I'm not sure if they will, but surprised seeing Tiffany just get pinned so cleanly. Yeah, I guess they don't want to beat Charlotte. She's probably winning Queen of the Ring, I would assume. But a bit of a surprise, I guess. Tiffany just loses clean in the middle of the ring to Jade. But I don't know where they're going next. I really don't. But that's what we had here. JC, Jane, and Fatal Influence were backstage. They were interviewed by Kathy Kelly. JC is very upset. And then she confronts Paige and Brie Bella backstage. Why are they still champions? They're such a joke. Why they have to fucking wait for Nikki Bella in the year 2026? Nikki Bella is a priority where she's going to hold up the women's tag team titles to wait for her to get healthy again. Like, why? I don't care about Paige and Brie. I don't want to see them. And they're nothing. And then what happens is as JC confronted them, Laney Reed and Fallon Henley attacked Brie and Paige, and Fatal Influence lays them out. If Fatal Influence is going to win a women's tag team title from them, I'm all for it. I'm not a big Fatal Influence fan at all. Not a big JC Jane fan, but I'll take them as women's tag team champions over Paige and Brie. I really like Fallon Henley. Not just because I'm attracted to her, which I am, but I do like her. Truth talked to Royce Keys backstage. They keep dragging out storylines with no progression. I think with SmackDown, it's Groundhog Day, the movie with Bill Murray. It's fucking Groundhog Day. It's the same shit. How many fucking times have I seen the same stuff every single week? It feels like they're just copy and pasting the show week to week. And like they're changing like one or two lines of dialogue. It's so tired of this shit. Carmelo Hayes went against Ricky Sainz, so Ricky Sainz got the win this time, holding the tights. He needed to win this time. He lost to Carmelo before, so he finally got a win on the main roster that's kind of relevant. Against a relevant name. It's kind of a high-profile win, if you will, so he needed that win, but he got no reaction. Kathy Kelly was interviewing Trick Williams backstage when Braun Breaker confronted him. Tiffany Stratton was walking backstage when Chelsea Green met up with her. She says she'll be there for Tiffany, and she wanted Tiffany to be with her in her match against Lash when Nia was there, but Tiffany did not want to do it, and she was a little bit beat up after losing, getting pinned by Jade. Irresistible Forces were out next. We got a Blake Monroe vignette, and she talked about Tiffany Stratton. Now, I don't know if this means anything, because last week was all the focus was Rhea Ripley, and I was looking forward to, oh, great, Blake's going to go after Rhea. That's going to be a fun feud. I'm looking forward to that. Blake Monroe had a great feud with an Australian woman before, so I'm looking forward to Blake and Rhea, but now the focus is Tiffany. It's going to be like two, really beautiful blonde women feuding, which there's been comparisons between the two of them for a while. But, I mean, I don't think it's going to be Tiffany or Rhea. I think she's just going to keep doing these promos on other women on the SmackDown roster, on the women's roster. So I'm not sure if they're gonna go into that right away. Chelsea Green's out next, and we get Lash Legend against Chelsea Green. Chelsea was over. People liked her. No one cared about Lash, but Lash won anyway with the Lash extension. Solo Sikoa tries to recruit Royce Keys into the MFT. It's like, I've seen this shit a million fucking times. I'm surprised Nakamura didn't talk to Tama Tonga or something back there. Fucking sick of this. Ray Phoenix was talking to Fraxian backstage. And then Chad Gable walks up. He talks to Ray Phoenix, and he apologizes to him directly for the El Grande Americano gimmick. And he understands and respects Lucha Libre and the culture in Mexico. And he's very apologetic for the gimmick. And what happens is Ray Phoenix forgives Chad Gable. So I hope they don't have to have him go apologize to every single luchador. So you can go apologize to Penta on Raw. That wouldn't make sense, but I'm glad, he's on SmackDown now. I thought he'd go to Raw. I'd like to see him win the Intercontinental Championship finally, but on SmackDown, it's okay. I think he'd be better suited on Raw, though, but it is fine. It's fine. Cody was walking backstage when Nick Aldis told him that Gunther wants a rematch under specific conditions. Cody wants to do the match in 2 weeks in Kansas City. So I thought about this. So in 2 weeks, they better hope the NBA Finals are not having a Game 7, because if there is a Game 7 on June 19th, they will go head-to-head with SmackDown. I don't think they want to get absolutely murdered in the ratings against the Game 7 of the NBA Finals. So hopefully the series is over, as the Knicks, they're up 1-0 now against the Spurs. I know Danhausen's talking about the curse. I don't care. I don't care about the stupid curse. I'm not really following it that closely, but I hope there's not a Game 7, because that would suck for Cody and Gunther in that match. So what happens is after that, Damian Priest was out next, and we go to a break. Dominic Mysterio was out with Liv Morgan. She went to the ring with Dom, unlike Raquel. And then Braun Breaker was out next, and Trick Williams was out, and no Lil Yachty tonight. Or today when I was watching it. Not complaining. I don't need to see Lil Yachty, so that's a good thing. But I mean, it's in Europe. He made an appearance last week in Spain, but I don't think he wants to stay in Europe for an entire week. I don't know if he wants to go to Italy, but then we had the main events, the King of the Ring quarterfinals match for the 4-way. Braun Breaker against Damian Priest against Trick Williams against Dominic Mysterio. Liv was in Dom's corner. I know Liv broke the internet, heard with her bikini photos, vacationing in Italy. Bailey, I also heard went viral a bit this week. But anyway, you got a decent main event here. So Braun Breaker drives Trick Williams through the announce table. That was a good spot. Near the end, JD McDonough interferes, and then Liv Morgan hits a low blow to Damian Priest. Dom hits a 619 and a frog splash to Damian Priest, and he advances, and he'll face Obafemi. I was fully expecting Braun Breaker to win, and I thought he would advance, but Dominic Mysterio advances. I thought we were going to get Seth and Braun in the finals. I thought that's where we're heading, so I'm definitely surprised Dom won. I hope he doesn't beat Obafemi with Brock returning. That would be so stupid. Oba should just murder him. But, we're getting this match. He faces Obafemi next. Dominic Mysterio advances. He celebrated with JD McDonough and Liv Morgan to end SmackDown. And I definitely did not like the show again. Not as bad as it's usually been. I thought the first hour was strong, but right when Solo came in, it's like it just drives the show down. He pops the balloon. He's so terrible. Anyway, that was SmackDown in Bologna, Italy. And they won't be back in Europe, I believe, for SmackDown until like a few weeks when they're in London. But so the European tour, it's like they're in Europe, but then like they leave and then they go back again in a couple weeks. It's kind of strange how they booked it, but overall, I thought the Italian crowds, like the last 3 shows, the 2 shows in Torino, the Clash in Italy, and the Raw show, the crowd was great. I thought the crowd in Bologna was great too, and it's SmackDown. It's never a good show, so I thought it was a good crowd, and I still thought the show was bad, but it's not as bad as it usually was because of the first hour. So that was SmackDown tonight, and we'll see what's next, especially on Raw this Monday, as WWE wraps the first part of their summer European tour. we'll see what's next, and we'll see who advances in both the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments.